Shalom, my brothers and sisters. It's always good to be able to tell you the things that's written in prophecy and Torah. It is about shalom, which peace. And I like to start this off with a prayer. As it says, Yahweh ha'atzah, la'apmawa yadana Yahweh, Yabarak ha'ata apmawa. Yahweh will give strength unto his people. Yahweh will bless his people with peace. Yes, my brothers and sisters, more so now than ever, we need to be able to have peace so that we may be able to navigate through the circumstances that is in front of us. And if we do the things that Yahweh has told us to do, then we can easily go through this and not worry about anything because, as it said, it told us in Deuteronomy that we would find no peace among these people. He told us, he said, you're not going to find any peace. These are people that are, when you understand that they themselves are in chaos and they have no trouble in putting you in the same thing that they are. So let me begin to read and to share with you that the reason why there's no peace is because of how it has started. And it says here, America was never a place of peace. Those that was let out of prison of England and put on ships were not peaceful people. They would double cross the American Indians. So we can see that according to what is in their own history of what they have done, even in Proverbs, it says, Proverbs 17, verse 13, whoso reward evil for good, evil shall not depart from his house. So we know a great harm, a great evil was dealt with the American Indians or the double cross. So we know that evil will not depart from their house. The tribes of Israel has no peace among the nations, as is stated in Deuteronomy 28, verse 65. Among these nations you shall find no ease. So you have to find your peace. It says in Proverbs 28, verse 28, when the wicked rise, men hide themselves. But when they perish, the righteous increase. So we know, according to scripture, that it told us that the earth would be given into the hands of those that are wicked, undeserving of the circumstances. So when we go on to give truth, we go into understand how to receive our peace. As it says in Psalm 28, verse 11, Yahweh will give strength unto his people. Yahweh will bless his people with peace. You understand? Peace is very important. The Shabbat Shalom, peace on the Shabbat. You should look for peace. And that's why it says in Nahum 1, chapter 1, verse 15, behold, upon the mountains, the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publishes peace. So the Torah teaches us to be peaceful. The prophecy says, comfort ye, my people. It says, comfort them because we found no resting place in this country. You understand? We found no resting place. And therefore, we must understand where we must rest. But peace shall be upon Israel. Psalm 125, verse 5. And the work of righteousness shall be peace, and the effects of righteousness, quietness, and assurance forever. So we know by keeping righteousness, the work of righteousness shall be peace, and the effects of righteousness, quietness, and assurance forever. So we want to acquire this because where there's peace, there's prosperity. When you can sit down and think, and that's Psalm 30, no, Isaiah 32, verse 17. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, said Yahweh, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Jeremiah 29, verse 11. So this is all about peace, that we will be a people that would live at peace so that we could think. But and Yahweh has said in Psalm 57, verse 19, I created the fruit of the lips, peace, peace to them that is far off and to them that is near, said Yahweh, and I will heal him. So peace, shalom, is a very powerful word that will cause us to relax and focus so that we will be able to progress in righteousness. It says in Zephaniah, verse 3, verse 13, for they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid, because they will have peace. That's why he says to them, comfort ye, my people. Tell them their warfare. He said, this is not that you have to get ready for battle. You got to get ready to have the peace, the shalom, lakbat shalom, go in peace. These are the things that because in peace there's prosperity. Isaiah 3, verse 10, say ye to the righteous that it will be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. So righteousness is peace. You understand what I'm saying? Righteousness will give us the peace that we need. And the work of righteousness shall be peace. And the effects of righteousness, quietness, and assurance forever. So this is what we strive for. We strive for that everlasting peace. And that's why it says in Isaiah 48, verse 18, oh, that ye had hearkened to my commandments, then had your peace been as a river, and your righteousness as the waves of the sea. Because in the Torah, it talks about peace. And the Torah gives us peace through obeying Yahweh's word. So we look to understand so that we can grow in the perfect way that Yahweh has prescribed. And as it says in Isaiah 26, verse 3, you will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you. Did you hear that? Because when we give praise to the name of our God, Yahweh, that our mind is ever upon him. Even in Psalm 119, verse 65, great peace have they which love thy Torah, and nothing shall offend them. Why? Because we understand the words of Yahweh. We know that everything that has come out of his mouth, we live by. We exercise our very existence in it. because it's by his word. It said, man does not live by bread alone, but by every word. So we absorb the word, therefore we absorb the peace through obeying Yahweh's will. You know, that's why he said, uh, uh, behold, upon the mountains, the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publishes peace. I'm publishing peace to you by telling you that keeping the commandments will allow you to have the prosperity, allow you to think, allow you to know your direction, that you don't have to be stumbling through life because you know you're Israel. You know that you're to keep his commandments. You know what pleases him. That's why you must know your peace. You must know your peace. Peace is essential for progress. There is no peace, said Yahweh, our God, to the wicked. He said, there's no peace to these people. That's why when you turn on the news, it's always, man, they are in turmoil. And you do not want to entangle yourself. So, what you put your trust, your mind on your God. Yahweh Allah. So it goes on to say, Yahweh is the peace of the 12 tribes of Israel. Yes, to obey Yahweh is the tribes of Israel's peace. To obey, to come into harmony, peace brings clarity and purpose. When there is no peace among, when there is peace among any people, there's progress. You can't have progress in your house if there's no peace. You can't have progress in your mind if you don't have peace. It says the Shabbat is the peace for the tribe of the 12 tribes of Israel. He says that it is a sign between me and my son Israel, a sign. The Shabbat is a sign. So when we enter into the Shabbat, it is that peaceful time. It is that time that when we open up and we read, it says the fear of Yahweh is a fountain of life to depart from the snare of death. The fear of Yahweh is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. The fear of Yahweh tended to life. Fear Elohim and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. These are the things that we must put in our life to have a wholesome life so that we will have peace and know that the circumstances, as has been prescribed in Torah, telling us these things will happen for you, Israel. All you got to do is walk down that path of what? Obedience, to obey Yahweh's laws and to keep the things. That's why he says in Isaiah 57, verse 19, I created the fruit of the lips. Peace be to them that is far off and to them that is near, said Yahweh, and I will heal him. Yahweh is telling you that he's sending you peace so that you may strive and blossom in his word. And he said, that's why he told him, he says that, they're going to be able to feed and lay down and not be afraid. And he told him, he said, go back and tell the righteous that it's going to be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their righteousness. That's why I say these three men being only by their righteousness that comes through obeying the word of Yahweh. Yahweh say, turn on to me, return on to me, and I will return on to you. So how do we return to Yahweh? By keeping his commandments. There's no other way. My brothers and sisters, there's no other way. Keeping the commandments is your total duty. There's nothing else that can save you. but by being obedient to the commandments of Yahweh. So I say to you with all my heart, there's nothing more that in life that will enhance your life and give you an abundance of life so that you will be able to what? Go through life with a smile. No matter what happens, you have a smile on your face and saying, Anaya la kwaka la kwalata baha the baraya hawaha, because you're going to take refuge in the word of Yahweh. Anaya la kwaka la kwalata baha shemaya hawaha. You're going to take refuge in his name. You're going to take refuge in his name by being obedient to his commandments. Let me tell you something. Look at the world. Who, if you can't make preparation at the last moment, the preparation is being done by you keeping the commandments. What shelter are you going to run into? Where are you going to hide? Did you tell me where? Hey, I tell you and I'll tell you again. We don't need nobody to come to save us. Our salvation is obeying the commandments of Yahweh and keeping his commandments. That's your salvation. As it said, Naya la kwaka la kwalata, Bahara wakaya hawaha. I take refuge in the spirit of my God that I may have a what? Immortal life, a life forever, a life that we will be able to be resurrected, knowing that we have, during our life, have put what is most important, because you're going to leave all of this behind, but you're going to take. The wicked will take his wickedness with him, and the righteous will take his righteousness with him. And if you have not put anything, then you're going to have nothing to take with you. If you only just saved money, bought cars, took care of your family, but what did you give your family? Did you give your family a knowledge of Yahweh God? Did you seek it out to find out? Because you're going to leave all this behind. But when you inject a relationship that your children should have, knowing that they are Yisrael and they are to keep the commandments of Yahweh God. Because as he says, though those three men, they could not save son nor daughter, but they could only save themselves by what? Their righteousness, their obedience to keep the commandments. So I thank you with all my heart that you may walk through that straight and narrow path, and that you will call upon the name of Yahweh God. Yahweh Allah Yama Yagadala Yahweh. Hallelujah. There's nothing sweeter than the truth, especially when it pertains to you. And when you open up the Torah, my brothers and sisters, it's all about you. So I say shalom, lala tov, and you have a sweet and beautiful life. Because when you open up the Tanakh, it's all about you. And may Yahweh continue to bless you in every way. And may you know you can go, you are the shining light in this world. Your light is in obeying the commandments. The commandments is a lamp, and the Torah that dwells in you. And I shall make a new covenant with the house of Israel. I will put my Torah in their inner parts and write it upon their hearts. You are that light to this world, my brothers and sisters. And you continue to walk and be humble. And Shabbat Shalom and Shalom to you in all your endeavors. Shalom, Balato, Shalom.